All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm Kimberly Gibbons. I'm the Director of Productivity in the Houston, Texas Market Center. We have over 700 agents in our office, and I have a program of a little over 200. This is my 9th year of being a productivity coach. And I absolutely, I love to teach Ignite. I love to get on this, these calls with you guys. We have moved into a different format with Ignite in our market center. So the fact that I get to get on here and facilitate, I just love being a part of that. So pretty laid back in class. If you have a question, please do not hesitate. I want to make sure we get all of your questions answered throughout the night. So just unmute yourself and ask away. So I know that this is the first session of the lead generation portion. I don't typically teach this one, but I'm excited about this. So we're talking about, all right, strengthening relationships. That's what we're working on tonight. We are going to talk about establishing the mindset. We are going to talk about identifying goals with your conversion rates, devising plans, messages, 36 to connect. So we're going to talk about a few of these different things tonight. So you talked a little bit in session 11 about converting leads into contacts and a profitable business. So in this third session of lead follow-up, we're definitely, continuing that conversation, the follow-up with the contacts, exploring the tools that you can leverage to make, your systematic and consistent follow-up system in place. Has anybody popped into, have you guys started to pop into Command and start to take a look at that? And into smart plans and your different touch plans that are available to you, starting to utilize those. I say get into everything we have and click everywhere that you can, not only in your MLS system, but in the Command system, in the KW Connect system, the mykw.kw.com system, answers at kw.com. You have all of these things available to you. So pop in there and you'll learn so much more when you just click all over the place. Okay, so we're going to talk about keeping every lead, following up with those leads, strengthening those relationships, which is specifically tonight. And then, of course, session 13 will qualify potential buyers and sellers. So by the end of today, applying those follow-up principles for leads to contacts, creating a 36 touch to convert touch plan, design and use MOFers, okay, messages that generate interest, and then develop a strategy to grow the number of contacts in your database. So start thinking about what you're going to learn today. All right, so we're going to establish the mindset. Okay, so what mindset do you think you need to adapt to successfully nurture the relationships with contacts? Do you think you need to be in the right, mindset to have conversations about real estate? Do you think you need, I love people I say you can't drive in a parked car. I love people that jump in 2 feet and just start having conversations, letting everybody know that they're in real estate. And then they'll come to me and say, I have a question about this. How would I, how do I handle this question? Jump 2 feet in and then see what the response is, especially with your sphere. Your sphere already knows you. They already trust you and they want to help you grow your business, which is why we start with them first. Okay, so we usually work with those, with those people that are in our emotional proximity, to you, is the strongest, because they want to help you in growing your business. People work with agents who are in their emotional proximity. Who's in front of them at the time when they have a real estate need? And that's why we want to create that consistent communication so that when they're on that wave of being ready, ready, willing, and able to buy, that you're the one that's in front of them. We as real estate professionals cannot control when that moment happens, but we want to make sure that we are in front of them and top of mind awareness. I call it TOPA, top of mind awareness, so that we're there when they do have a need. So in that situation, what can we really control? We can influence them, okay, within our emotional proximity to the people in our own world. Okay, we can follow up by controlling the frequency and the intensity of the follow-up. So in starting the conversation about mindset, by thinking about how leads and contacts differ. So Gary lets us know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focused action every single day. 1% improvements week after week. That's what we're looking for. So in starting in regards, you've seen this picture before, and we know that we know what this model is, the lead generation and database model. Okay, so you talked about it in class last week. Okay, you talked about tools to convert these leads. Okay, remember that we prospect and we market to bring these particular leads and contacts into our database. Okay, so we're discussing about what's the difference between a lead and a contact.
I would say a lead is no relationship established. A contact is more of a relationship established.
Absolutely. Perfect. Perfect answer. Yes. So leads are the people that we have that contact information, for. You may have a way to follow up with them, and contacts are people that we know. Okay. They know you. You can have a reciprocal conversation. I say it's a conversation I've had with an adult decision maker. I want to make sure that they are part of the adult decision-making process. Okay. These are people that they expect to hear from you. They know who you are. They know that you're an agent and that you can help them with any of their real estate needs. That's a contact. What makes that important? So sensitive. Once I start to have that relationship here, and then I'm communicating with them, okay, I'm gathering more information. Okay. It allows us to design and follow up in order to align ourselves with their needs and their interests. Okay, so with a lead, we have a person's name, we have a way to contact them. With a contact, we know more about them and we have that communication that's consistent. I know maybe if they're first-time home buyers, maybe they're investors, I might know where they work. I might know a little bit about their family because, I'll ask them if school is important to you, is the commute to work. If you know anything about the Houston area, it takes us an hour and a half to get from the north side of Houston to downtown, to the east side, to the west side, to the south side. So it's a large area. So knowing the commute to work is a big question that we ask all the time. And luckily our MLS, you pull up a listing and it'll tell you your drive times and what time you leave in the morning, what time you come home, and what that, time frame is going to look for, like for you. If you happen to purchase this home, we can use that to know about our contacts and their desires to tailor our message to them. So remember the third C and the Y4T, two C's, two E's, communication. Seek first to understand. If we've approached our conversation with contacts with this, this sort of maxim in mind, we can understand their needs. We can communicate with their contacts based on those particular needs. So I love the information gathering when I start to work with somebody. Okay, I love to know more about them. I'm quick to add them to my social media so I can, even, get in a more in-depth relationship with them, and they get to know me too. So once we get that lead in, we do some prospecting and marketing. We know we're prospecting with Marketing Enhanced. Okay, we put them into your database. Those leads, we're starting to form those relationships. We want to strengthen, those new ones or those, the ones that we already have existing, and then prepare those contacts for conversion. Okay, interactive and need-based offerings. And then we repeat. Okay, so we get them through, new and repeat, referrals, get them back up here, we start it all over again. Okay, so it's just a constant. And this is just making sure that we are relationship based rather than transactional based. Okay, that's the most important thing, is I'm always coming from contribution. How can I help somebody? And if that's the way that I work my business from minute one, then they know that, they feel that. Okay, I'm not just looking for that next transaction. I'm not looking for that next commission check. Okay, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket because they're too expensive right now. Looking for just the transactional part. I'm all about the relationship. So from leads, you have the right to have a one-way conversation. Okay, when we start to gather more information, you are engaged in a two-way conversation. A value-based relationship has been established. So one of the top agents said, focus on building relationships and take market share. We're always, right now in this particular market, have agents that just don't want to work that hard and they're going to lose market share. They're used to the last couple of years and things just falling in their lap, and that's just not the norm. So we've got to work a little bit harder, to find the people that are, ready, able, and willing, those A and B buyers. So it's all about the relationship. And we all intend to be successful. Success is built on relationships. Let that be the forefront of everything that you do. So starting on mindset. So today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. Everything that we do today is about tomorrow. So let's establish a mindset around follow-up with our contacts. We fail in the follow-up more than anything that we do. If you've been in class with me before, I say it again and again and again. We fail in the follow-up more than anything. We fail in, thinking that I called them once or I texted them and I didn't hear back from them. I always give them the benefit of the doubt. I never know truly what's going on in their world, especially, open house follow-up leads. Okay, I call them and, maybe they don't answer. I send them a text, I might shoot them a quick little video. Thanking them for coming. But maybe they went on to have dinner with family, or they were going out of town, or, it could be anything. So I always give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to touch them, 3 phone calls, 3 texts, 3 emails in 3 days. Usually by that 5th to 7th attempt at contacting them, they either answer the phone, respond to a text, or shoot me back an email. So don't think that they're too busy, that they're not interested. You keep trying to contact them, okay? Because they raised their hand, said that they had a need. They're coming to open houses, okay? Or they reached out for a real estate need, okay? Follow up. Okay. If your database is a garden, then your leads are the seeds, your contacts are the plants, and your conversion is the harvest. Okay. So what do you think about today's conversion? Today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. How does that affect your mindset?
Kind of makes me want to double down and do what I got to do.
Double down. Oh, I love that. I love that. Double down. That's what we're doing right now. Yeah, Crystal, all 9 of those touches in 3 days. Absolutely. So what we've noticed, and this is proven over time for agents that do this at a really high level, and I keep track when I call, when I text, and when I email. Okay, maybe, and I'll try different time slots and keep track of that. But it's the consistency in the follow-up. Again, not letting anything get in my mind of that they're not interested or they don't want to work with me, or maybe they're, they have another agent. I just remove all of those objections, and I call, I text, and I email until I can get a hold of them. It's called the 3 by 3 by 3 in 3 days. We've typically found that 12 to 2 is the least amount of time that people will respond. Okay, so I get my agents to do from, 8 a.m. to 12, take that break, and, 2 to 6. Those are the time periods that we will make those attempts. So how do you make sure that you harvest large enough to fund your big life? You guys have talked about your big why and your big life. I think you've learned a little bit in session 11 about this. Uncovering the motivations, gaining information so that you can set that appointment and get to that real estate transaction. But you've got to think, about a big life and a big why. Why are you on this call on a Tuesday evening, with me? Okay, because you want, there's something more that you want. So that's what keeps us motivated. Once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever. I don't want any orphan, clients in my database. I don't want, any orphan contacts. I want to make sure that they're getting consistent communication from me so that when they have a need or when they hear somebody that has a need, they think of me first. Most important thing. And that's the second C, of the Y4C2Ts is a commitment in all things. We're committed to staying in emotional proximity with our contacts with the consistent communication. And your command database allows for all of that. In order to be successful, we want to make sure that we're nurturing those relationships, and we must understand our goals. Has everybody put their goals in Command? Do you guys have that set up? So once you go into your Command system and you scroll down to reports, up at the top is a goal category, and you can put the information in there. The only thing that I suggest is you add your percentage in for taxes and use that with your profit goal plus your taxes and put that in there so that you get a big picture number, because it's going to add your cost of sales in there. It's going to add in the transaction split for your buyers, your sellers, and your leases. So all that information is in there. And then once your goals are set, every contact that you add, every smart plan that you set up, every opportunity that you create is tracked along with those goals that you've now set up. Everything is in there for you. So make sure that you have your goals set up in there. Taking a look at this particular graph. So lead generation, lead follow-up, and the transaction. Okay, and then we've got the lead conversion in there. Okay, so when you're comparing that to the wave graph where every person in your database is on the wave of being ready to buy. Okay, in this graph, they're just talking about the lead generation phase. And on the left, where you are gathering and storing your leads quickly, in fact, you're generating leads in days and in weeks. Okay, and on the right, of course, you're busy with the transaction process, which can, take anywhere from 2 weeks if it's a cash deal, to possibly 2 months. Okay, our close time in our area is usually about 30 to 35 days to get a transaction closed. And I know that varies, from state to state. So how long is the lead follow-up phase? Do you recall how many years it is between buying and selling homes on the average? Have you guys talked about that previously?
5 to 7.
5 to 7 years. It could
5
be,
to 7.
5 to 7 is what I typically hear out there. It could be 7 to 10 years. Okay. This lets us know how important it is to make sure that we're lead following up. Okay. Since it could be 10 years. Okay. And once you've built that clientele, you've closed transactions, did an amazing, job for them. Your customer service was exceptional. You're their choice. Okay. You want to be their realtor for life. But if you're not communicating with them throughout all those years that they possibly don't have a need, whoever's in front of them when they do is the person they're going to go with. So it's extremely important to make sure that we are, we have that communication. It's also about, when you're doing the lead generation and we do the lead follow-up, that we're, concentrating on our lead conversion. Okay. You're always, querying whether the person is ready to meet for a real estate need. Are they an A buyer, ready, willing, and able? Are they B, just, they're just thinking about it a little bit, but they still have a time frame attached? Or, we call the C's just, tire kickers, and, they're interested, but they don't really have a plan. They might not be pre-qualified. So we want to make sure that we keep track of the lead conversion as well. I had an agent come to me and say, I need to know my lead conversion, ratios. And I said, well, where do you track where your leads come from? Are they open house leads? Is it sphere of influence leads? Are you purchasing any leads? Are you circle prospecting? Where are your leads coming from? And he didn't know where, he said, I don't track that. Well, then you don't have any conversion leads or ratios. So let's start tracking that. And you can create, of course, tags in your database. And you can say, open house lead. You can put sphere of influence. You can create, as many tags so that you could filter those, because it's your system. So, make it think like you do. Add those tags in there so that I can just, I can quickly go in and filter and pull up sphere of influence or open house leads. Maybe I did an event and I want to make sure that I contacted, the people that came to maybe my spring event, my fall event, things like that. If they have immediate interest in your services, then you're probably going to convert them pretty quickly. Okay. I'm all about, the appointment first. We know all, brokerages, are a little bit different. I'm about the appointment first, because then I can gather information. I can talk about the, have you had a chance to speak with a lender partner yet? Okay. Who's going to be living in the home with you? I can gather all of that information. What's their motivation? What's their time frame? But let me get them, into a home first, and let's the conversation continue from there. So Joe asked advice on how to handle customers that seek free information but will not commit to work with you. I may answer a question or two And then I'm going to let them know, I'd love to help you with any of and all of your real estate services. In my area, we have a form called a buyer's representation, because that allows me to give you even more information. Right now, I represent the seller, and because, you're a customer, there's just limited information that I can provide to you. But I'd love to help you with any of your real estate needs. Yeah, they're going to ask you. If you put it out there, people are going to ask you. I just don't get into the weeds with them. I might ask, like I said, I might answer a question or two. If they're not, truly looking for help, I may just put them in my database and create a smart plan for them just to, stay in touch. Because I don't know what it's going to lead to. So I do want to help. I just don't want it to take up, too much of your time. Okay, because they will. They will eat up your time. You make sure that, you run your calendar so your calendar doesn't run you. Make sure that you're giving them time slots instead of, well, what works for you? Let me, and put them on your calendar. No, I have 2:00 on Thursday, or I have a 4:30 on Thursday, which works best for you. But I would definitely answer questions. Okay, you want to be the resource. Okay, and help as much as you can. Just don't let it eat up your time. Converting those contacts to closed business. Okay, I know that you talked about this in session 11, was to convert leads to appointments. And we learned that not every lead is able, ready, and willing to meet. When we encounter those people who are just not ready for that appointment, we use the follow-up just to stay in contact with them, okay, until they are ready for an appointment. I may put something in there as far as their time frame. Maybe they're, 6 months out. There used to be a spreadsheet in KW Connect that you could put it's a pipeline, and you could, bring up this pipeline, put their information in there, and set a particular number for where they were, if they were 5 months out, if they were 6 months out, if they were 9 months out, and then you could rate them so that they were in that order. So when you were touching your pipeline and staying in communication with them, you knew what their time frame. If they say 9 months, I usually cut that in half because they're usually ready sooner than what they say they are. Okay. So always, no matter what they say, cut it in half. If you had to guess, how many times have you agreed to be in someone's database when you're not ready to make a purchase? Have you clicked on something, researched something on Amazon, looking to buy a new car, or maybe furniture? You may have to put your information in there. Have we all done it? How many times have we done that? More than once?
I've actually done it with a realtor. And they keep contacting me.
And they keep contacting you. That's like that. See, you're seeing that. But guys, we do that sometimes more than 20 times. Okay. Amazon contacts you. We read a study last year that said they touch you more than 1,500 times when you start looking. And it might be on social media that they're, creating those little, touches on the side. Email follow-ups, or they'll say, oh, did you forget something that, you put in your cart? Or when you pop back in there, everything's right there. They touch you so many times that we don't even realize it. So make sure that your mindset is not, oh, I don't want to bother them. We're bothered all day long by the things that we sign up for, and it's okay. If it doesn't interest me, I just delete it and I move on to the next one. Okay, so make sure that you're staying, in that mindset that, the frequency and the follow-up, it makes a difference. So we want to make sure that we're doing it. Okay. Again, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Did they see my email? Did they, was it, get lost in their spam, things like that. So I want to keep contacting them. If we are sending out quality messages, that make that offer for immediate response, which we call a MOFR, MOFIR, then they're likely to respond. We're more likely to get closed business if we're putting things out there that are a reason for them to contact me back. Okay. And Joe, that might be what you're doing. You're putting things out there on social media, and it might be that MOFR that's making them contacting you back, which is what you want. You want that interaction. So we want to convert those leads and contacts to closed business. We want to stay top of mind, that real estate mind sharing position. So you've got, left brain, right brain, sellers and buyers, number of agents that they interviewed before choosing an agent. One agent, they typically go with the first agent that they speak to, okay, or they sit down with. Okay, and I tell my agents all the time, meet them where they are. Okay? Again, in Houston, it's such a far drive. We're sort of centrally located near the center and downtown. So we've got all of these different areas that people work in, and meet them where they are, because I could be that one agent that they're going to go with. Okay, same thing with buyers. We got 74% on seller side and 75% on buyers. Very rarely do they get to that 2 agents. So in order to be top of mind with buyers and sellers, we want them to think of us. Okay, that's the mind share. We talked a little bit earlier about how many real estate databases each of your leads and contacts are in. Okay, how many different real estate databases are you in? Somebody already said, I'm in an agent's. Have you ever looked at a competitor site? Okay, and then just start getting their emails or their texts. Bingo, that's it right there. Okay, we want to make sure that you are doing the exact same thing. Follow up that goal number. We talked about that they interview just one agent particularly. Okay, so if that's not the first name, if I'm not the first name that comes to mind when a contact thinks about real estate, then I'm probably not going to be who they're going to be working with. Okay, I'm probably not going to get that transaction. You want to build a referral business. You want to build advocates in your business. Love on those people that refer you. Love on those people that are sharing your posts. Love on those people that are, always, if you post something, that they're quick to, to like it or comment on it. Those are the people that want to help you grow your business. Pay attention to those. Build those advocates in your business. Leveraging that mind share for referral business. Okay. Our clients never stop being contacts. Okay, we continue to nurture them. Okay, our relationship with them, even after the transaction. We want to remain in that emotional proximity, okay, to help them share our value proposition. Did they have an amazing transaction with you? Then we want to make sure that they share that, okay, with a friend, their hairstylist, their tailor, their restaurants they go to, anybody that they hear of a need with, that they raise their hand and tell them about you. So when you think about that, are you currently doing that in your business? Or is that something we need to work on? When you go into your phone and you scroll down in your contacts, you hit that little pound sign and it tells you how many contacts you have, 4,238. Out of those contacts, does everybody know that I'm in real estate? If I divided that by 2, somebody tell me what they have in their contact database. What's 200? Joe said 200. If I divided that by 2 and just got rid of the fluff, okay, that's 100. If I divided that by 6, for every 6 people that's in just your phone contacts, that's a potential of 16 transactions that could come out of just that database. So what other databases do you have? Joe does all those exactly, Facebook, social media accounts. Are you touching those, throughout the day? Because I say lead generation is just not picking up the phone. It's, it's calling, it's texting, it's Facebook messaging, it's emails, it's face-to-face, voice-to-voice. I don't care how you're contacting people and staying in touch with them. We just have to make sure that we are. Okay? So are your email, are your contacts from your phone uploaded to your database? So make sure that we're doing that. Are they on some type of smart plan? Because guys, there's so many smart plans in there that agents have created that I've downloaded. I make it my own and utilize it. I don't try to recreate the wheel when it's already there for me. Okay, we are the number one in R&D, rip off and duplicate. Okay, so take advantage of that. Okay, that's the number one thing. The Facebook groups that I'm in with KW they're just amazing. They're like, look what I created. I'm like, oh, I like that. That's mine now. And you recreate it for yourself. Go into KW Connect and look for those things. All right, so devising the plan. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how you can use the 19 to connect and the 1 to cement plans to connect with the leads from session 10 and 11. Okay, so the 36 to convert plan to stay in contact long-term and gain the benefit of clients and referrals from your database. So using the 6 connection questions and then always including a MOFR, make that offer for immediate response. Have you guys created the foundation for your 36 to convert yet? Have you guys done that? You did that in session 11 last week. And so make sure that you don't skip over that homework piece. And so you want to make sure that your 36 to convert plan is a comprehensive program with different layers of input. You know, you want it a mixture of phone calls, you want it newsletters. You can do all of that in your command system. You know, events that might be going on. It might, you know, you might have some market center events until you can do your own events. Okay, market updates. Guys, make sure that you're being hyper local about the content that you're putting out there. Okay, because they're hearing, you know, out there, they're hearing the sky is falling. Okay, and you want to be the one that gives them the best information possible in regards to what's going on in the market. But home evaluations, you know, I love to call them, you know, I call them equity analysis. I let them know I do them in the spring and the fall. 85% of Americans do not know how much equity they have in their homes. So I want to let them know, you know, not just by doing, you know, I use the CMA if, you know, if they're aware of that. But when I say equity analysis, they're like, you know, their ears perk up and they're like, "Ooh, what's that?" I'm like, you know, well, do you know how much equity you have in your home currently, you know, in this market that we're in? Okay, so twice a year, I let them know it's time for those equity analysis, you know, who's interested. Okay, other value-based products, you know, that's going on, holidays, anything that you can do to interact, you know, find out what people in your market, you know, what do they value? Okay, design your touches to match what they value. And that's the information gathering. So one of my clients today is doing her, you know, her Valentine's giveaway. And she's like, I don't know what to say. And so she had bought some, you know, like a little jewelry, some earrings, and I think a bracelet from Kendra Scott. And that's what she was going to give away. And I said, okay, well, let's think about how many people wait to the last second to maybe buy their loved one a gift. And so, you know, she came up with a mofer of, you know, have you waited too long to buy your, you know, loved one a gift for Valentine's? You know, enter to win, share this post. She created some cute hashtags, and, you know, the more that they share, she can go in there and look at that and, you know, put them in the drawing for that. One of the other agents went and got reservations at a couple of different restaurants. And, you know, sort of that similar thing. Did you wait to make a reservation at one of your favorite, you know, your loved one's, you know, favorite, you know, spot for Valentine's Day? Well, I've already done that. You know, put your name in, you know, to potentially win, you know, one of those reservations. So things like that just gets people talking, gets people sharing, gets people active, knowing what you're doing. You know, I'm providing some value. I'm getting people to share things on social media. So think outside the box. Go and look at what other agents are doing, and then how you can implement some of those things into your business. We may not know what our, you know, contacts value right away. So that's why, you know, use the 4 telephone conversations, you know, to deepen the relationships, gather that information. Okay, connect with them on a different level. The more information that you can gather, the better. Developing your 36 touch plan. When you go into your command, you have the ability to not just, you know, I can search for different smart plans. I can use some keywords in here. Okay, I can look at the Keller Williams ones. I can look at the top rated ones. You know, we've got over, you know, 16, 17,000 in here now. Something that resonates with me, you know, I'll find it. There are welcome smart plans, just introducing yourself. I love that anytime that, you know, maybe I've started a new farm area, maybe I did an open house in a particular area, or, you know, and I want to further those relationships, you know, I may send out that welcome. Also let them know, you know, next month, I'm going to be sending you a neighborhood nurture, letting you know the most up-to-date information of what's going on in your neighborhood. So I let them know what's coming next. The back to school, all the different holiday ones, you know, every month there's a holiday. I think August is the only one that doesn't have, you know, a true holiday, but that's back to school. Okay, so you can do something for that. So go in there and just click and research all the different smart plans that are available to you. I know that my market center tech trainer, or the director of technology, I think he changed his term, his title to, has created a 36 touch in here that is pretty amazing. And you can look for Brandon Lara, his is in there. Marty Miller, of course, is he is our region tech person for Texas South. He's created 66-day challenges inside of here as well. YouTube, go on YouTube and look what other agents are doing. Okay, the resources are out there. We just have to get out there and take a look for them. So we want to make sure that we are creating those touches to have some, phone calls, some texts, some emails all built into there. You may, send out some promotional direct touches to the touch plan. Okay, again, you can find them in there. And if one resonates with you more than others, use it, edit it, make it your own. That's what they're there for. A neighborhood nurture. If I click out of here, let's see. Okay, it'll take me a minute to get back in, so just bear with me. Let's go back in. We'll go into command. Don't look at all my tabs. Everybody, they call it Tab City. I have Google over here and I have Firefox over here, and I'm in this stuff all day long. Go into my command. Oh, I'm in Troy's. Hold on. Make sure that you're popping in here, once a day. Okay, seeing what new designs are coming out. Okay, any week, this week's updates, what's going on with command for this week, last week, in case you missed it. Again, anything that you do when, I put an agent's goals in here, so I showed them how to do it. Once I put their goals in here, of course, it's looking at my contacts and my smart plans and things like that, but you're able to see absolutely everything that's going on in accordance to your goals with your command system. Okay. You click on the red KW, of course, it opens up the applets so you can see the names until you learn what the pictures are. So if I click on smart plans, of course, you have your library of smart plans. Okay, so those are just for me. Okay, and then you can go into the library. And this is where all of the smart plans, the ones for Keller Williams, here's some featured ones, the top rated, like I said, and what's new. Okay, so these are the ones that I think these are last 7 days. So everything here is for you. I'm looking for, so I can come up in here and search smart plan name, author name, if I know somebody that's created something, description. So let me just look and see if, so that's one he did for, lead follow-up. There's his 36 touch plan that he's created. Okay, it's got 75 steps. It lasts for, almost a year. It has 37 touches. You can come in here and review everything that plan has. A touch task. Okay, wishing you a prosperous and healthy new year. Okay, it delays, another touch task, and it just keeps on going. So you're able to see absolutely everything that's part of any of these plans. And then you can just add it to your smart plan. If you want to edit it and change it, then you can make it yours at any time. The neighborhood nurtures, you add the contact in here, what neighborhood they either currently live in, or maybe they live in a particular neighborhood and that the area that they're looking to move to, I can put both of them on here. Okay, so they can get 2 different reports. So you come in here, you add the neighborhood. Okay, it brings that information up. It also suggests some neighborhoods. So if I want to expand out for some more information, I can do that as well. Okay, and then once I get that set up, I can come in here, click on Smart Plan, add that to it, and then it sends it out the 6th of every month with updated information about what's going on in this particular area of League City. Does that help you, Karen?
Yes,
Is it-
it does. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great email. It's really, really easy to use too. But
And I
guys,
guess that
yeah, go
gives
ahead.
them like info about like sales and things that are going up in the market and stuff.
Yep, it creates, and I know that on the growth call, not this week, but last week, Mark and Jason were saying they're even going to make this more amazing. So the statistics that it's going to be sending out, they're just adding on to that. So it's going to get even better. And I'm like, yay.
I have one question.
Sure.
What is the best way to collect their address information?
So it depends on, are you gathering it from an open house? Are you gathering it from your sphere?
I find it kind of easy to gather from open houses,
Okay.
but from Sphere leads.
Okay, from your leads.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's, because they don't know you or trust you
Right.
just yet. So you've got to, you've got to build that relationship a little bit more.
Okay.
I'd love to be able to send you some more information from my multiple listing service.
Okay.
What's your current email?
Email, phone number, name.
If you can get phone
That's the
number
basics.
first, if you can get phone number
Mhm.
first, typically the email just flows out of them. It's getting the phone number first that they don't want to give up. And I let
It's
them know,
that address. I've been trying to collect addresses. I don't have
Address.
any issues with the phone number, email, and name. That comes natural.
Yeah. Whitepages.com. There's another site called Spokeo, Spokeo, that I get some of my agents to use.
Can you put that in the chatter for me? And I appreciate it.
Absolutely. White Pages, just some sites that you can use to try to gather that. I use social media too. I say I'm better than the FBI. You want me to find something out? Let's go. But use the resources that you do have. And sometimes, it just, I pick up the phone call, or if I've got an email, then they start getting something from me. Maybe they reach back out to me. And maybe it was a welcome email. And then I said, I would love to send you a monthly, update, monthly nurture for the most updated information about what's going on in your neighborhood. I would love to have your email. Okay. They may follow up to something like that. Okay. Just get creative with it and, just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Thank you.
Sometimes
That
when
helps.
sometimes when we just ask, we sort of put them on the spot and they're like, Kimberly Gibbons at kw.com and run with it. Okay. But guys, hop in here. If you're not, going in here, at least once a day or, 3 or 4 times a week, you're missing out because there's so many things in here and it just gets better and better every month. You can run your entire business from this system. If you don't know about Answers, I have it on my other one. So I go there. There it is. This is another resource for you. Okay, it's just answers.kw.com. Another resource I can come in, KW Connect, Command, your Command app. Okay, different things about KW, but if I come into Command, maybe you're working on something, it's later in the evening, you don't have somebody that you could reach out to, know that this is right here, all the different settings inside Command. If you're working on smart plans, there are 23 articles here about it. You're, getting ready to create an opportunity and you're stuck on something, they're right here for you. Okay, designs. Okay, I'm looking for maybe a referral, reports, your listings, everything's right here. Okay, so use the resources available to you. So let me pop back in there one more time because I was just going to show you guys just in 36 touches. So as far as the description inside the main library, if I'm just looking for 36 touch, okay, there's 155 of them. So you can come in and look for one that meets your needs. Look at the different steps. Okay, 36 touch, phase 1. But don't, like I said, don't recreate the wheel when it's already created for you. All you have to do is edit it and make it your own. Okay. And yes, Joe, when you said that, that made me think, if you have a name, go into your MLS. We have something called Matrix Tax that we can go in there and plug in somebody's name. Sometimes it will pull up the, where they live. So our messages for the 36 touch should do two different things. One, build our connection, okay, to those contacts, getting to know their needs, their wants. And two, elicit that response that puts you in dialogue with them. We want to remind the 6 connecting questions that will help with this. Okay, you talked a little bit about those in session 11. Who are they? Okay, what do they want? What do they need to do? What's their motivation? What's their time frame? Where do they want or need to do it? Why do they want something? Why do they need something? When? Okay, do they want it or do they need it? And how do they plan to do it? When you're using the, make offer for immediate response, that can be a direct offer, one designed to get a response from someone who is ready to buy and sell with you now. It can be an indirect offer. Maybe it's a message that's not directly about buying and selling, but maybe it helps build that relationship with that contact, because that's just as important. Is anybody using any MOFers currently with their social media? Like I talked about so Joe said he has, the CMAs. Not everybody knows what a CMA is, an equity analysis. Maybe you put something out that said, we talked a little bit, this awesome house just came on the market. If you're looking for a home in this neighborhood, call me right away. Today. I know that my preferred partner in lending, his, Fairway Mortgage is always coming up with different ways to counteract, they lose business to new construction, because the new construction lenders that they're attached to typically are able to give them, additional concessions that maybe, my lender's not able to. So we put that information out. Credit unions, we lose out to credit unions as well, because they're able to do, different incentives for, their consumers that are already a part of that credit union. So they've created additional things to, to counterbalance that, to earn that business. So we put that stuff out there. Because everybody loves, my lender's just this, is just a great guy. He does so many things for the agents in the office, for teams that I work with. So they want to give them the business, and letting them know that, well, I can help you not just with new construction, but, possibly, credit union situations as well. Getting that information out that's going to help grow that relationship. Extremely important. Can't talk about low interest rates because that's not an option right now. So it wants us to go in your, let's see how to get prepared to buy and sell a home. Absolutely. The last session that I taught a few weeks ago with you guys, we talked about home buyer seminars, and what a great opportunity, it is to lead those, because I just facilitate, I get my lender partner, my title partner, my inspector partner, home warranty, insurance, and they facilitate the rest of the home buyer seminar, first time home buyer seminar. Okay, I'm there to support them, but it's all about the partners and, and team that I have that's going to make that just an exceptional transaction. Okay, so if you're not doing those yet, absolutely. Okay, spring and fall, don't overdo it, but it's a great opportunity for you to get in front of people. Does anybody currently have a 36 touch plan set up that you created or that you downloaded into your smart plans and edited?
I have one that I used that was already in there. I didn't do any modifications to it.
Okay. So you've sent that out. Any response?
I've gotten 2 stops. But I have gotten a couple of them where I'm sending out them the CMAs and things like that.
Being a resource. That's just how it starts.
Patiently waiting.
Absolutely. And I'll say to them, I'd love, I sent you your equity analysis. I'd love to schedule, either time to go over that with you. We can do a quick phone call. We can do a quick, Zoom. I can stop over to the house and just go over that with you. Anything, to get them in communication with me. Did you have any questions in regards to it? You've got to raise your hand and let them know what what you have to offer. So make sure that you're doing the homework for setting up that 36 touch plan. If you're going to do a home buyer seminar, make sure that you let, everybody in your database know. If you're hosting an open house, let everybody in your database know. You never know who's going to be, looking in that particular area, or who do they know that might be looking in that area. If you have a brand new listing, let your database know. Okay. Again, don't think that you're touching them too much, because you're not. If that email comes up, if that text comes up, they make a decision right then and there. Do I have time for this? Is this important to me right now? It may be, it may not be. And when that phone rings, every time that phone rings, you make a decision. Do I have time to talk to that person right now? Or I'll call them back later. Or a text comes in and you might look at it, or you might be in the middle of working on something. You're like, oh, I'll text them later. Okay. But short little videos, when that little triangle comes up, people are like, oh, they just sent me a video. What's that? And they click on that little triangle. Take the time to do short little videos. Okay. Don't think about, I don't like to be on, camera, or I don't like my voice. Doesn't matter. Okay. That's just a mindset thing. It's another excuse or objection not to do it. Just do it. Okay. Because people are, they loved it. They're curious. They want to see, what video that that you sent them. So, we're talking a lot about the 201 plus in your database. So if you have 200 contacts in your database and you put them all on a 36 touch plan, how many touches is that per year? Who's doing math? 7,200 touches. Okay. If you have 200 contacts in your database, that's 7,200 touches. Okay, that might feel, exciting for some of you and overwhelming for others. And that's okay. Gary Keller, of course, we need that big why. So we need to think big. We need to step outside of our comfort zone. Okay. So, they also, talk about, sometimes we just, the way that we get there is to break down or someday, our someday goals into smaller and smaller goals. Okay. And setting them up with some communication. Okay. So we might look at those big goals. We look at that 7,200. We're like, yeah, I can't get to that. Just start small. I just want to keep you motivated. So when we talk about, most of you have productivity coaching in your market center? Do you have dual career coaches? Great. Utilize them. Ask them questions. Don't think they're too busy. Okay. Make sure that you're, talking about your goals with them. So it talks about, we have 1 year goals. You break down by month, by week, and by day. And I think this is in your participation guide, so it starts with how many people in your database are contacts. Okay. We know those people that you have permission to have two-way conversations with. How many do you currently have? And then you start to think about, well, I need to contact them once a quarter. So that's 4 times a year. Then I need to divide that number of telephone calls by 12 for the number of calls that you need to make each month. So how many people in your database do you need to call once a month? These are the time blocks that you need to add to your schedule. And does your market center talk about the database to schedule? It's an easy way to contact your database. So it looks like this. Okay. I don't know if I have it on my screen where I can share it, but it's setting up your database using 2 initials. So like the first week is A and W. So I call everybody, contact everybody in my database with the name, first name or last name. I usually use first names with A's and W's. That's that first week. The second week is B and E. And so you can set up these tags inside your database in your command system. And so the week that's A and W, I can just filter it, bring up all those A's and W's. Those tags are already in there. Okay, and I can call them. Okay, so it creates a way for you to not have database bias. Okay, so that, oh, maybe I talked to them last week and, they're not interested and maybe I don't touch them again until the next quarter. And then when I do pick up the phone and talk to them, that they say, oh, you know what? We just put our house up for sale. And that's just like a shot to the heart, it just, oh, and you think back, well, what made them not call me? And it's because I didn't call them last quarter because I thought they didn't have a need or wouldn't have a need. Life events happen. We think that they're going to be in their houses 5 to 7, 7 to 10 years, but sometimes things happen. So you want to make sure that you create the plan that you're touching everybody in your database consistently, at least every quarter. So you can set that up in your system. So it's a great way. If you even probably go into KW Connect and just put in there DT D2 for 2023, it'll probably come right up. I can add it. I know if you guys are all part of the Facebook group, it's on my computer, but I don't know where. But it's a great way to be able to create that consistency. So that you don't miss anybody. So we talked about smart plans. We popped into command. So I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. Yep. I think it's the Keller Williams dual career. So you get into the files there. So just Keller, because this is where they put all the recordings for the classes, let you know what session that we're on. I know other people share information in there. So it's another great resource for you guys. So each day, each week in Ignite for you guys, you're thinking, you're feeling, you're acting on, you're implementing what you've learned, as you move forward in your real estate business. Is there anything that you've grown in different areas that you're particularly proud of? That you're like, you know what, I've jumped full, 2 feet into this and I'm excited about it. Is there anything that you guys are doing that you're, pretty proud of right now? No?
I've been doing mailers since
Ooh.
June. Like
Ooh, I
I
love
try to
that.
do 30 per month.
Okay.
But my broker told me it may take like 18 months before I get a client, but I'm willing to continue to try so I can get something.
Yeah, that's the part of marketing that's definitely is gonna, it's passive. It's going to take a little bit longer. They don't know you, they don't trust you, and once they see you though, maybe that 6th or 7th time, they're like, oh, we've gotten something from this agent before. They may save it, might go in the junk drawer. And then, that 8th, 9th, 10th, they really see that you're committed to their area. They start recognizing, your mailers, make sure that you're using the same format. Do you have a QR code on there that they can, gain information from you, or at least get, more of your contact information? That's something that we definitely, recommend.
I don't, but I will.
Yeah. Create a QR code or take your, yours. You actually have one in your KW consumer app. You have a QR code already that's created for you that you can put that in there, and it's specifically for your app.
And what is that on? You said it's on the consumer app?
The consumer app.
Okay.
The one with it's the white background.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. When you go into I'm not sure the app, you can share the app, but there's definitely a QR code in here. It's under your account. Oh, probably that's why I have to log in.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi.
This is Datra Riley, and I am in Mississippi. I'm in the Memphis Mid-South Keller Williams Market Center. And I wanted to share something that I have been doing that I'm very proud of, being that I am a dual career agent. I teach full time. So I've been creating YouTube shorts just to kind of come from a space of contribution. A couple of them have been the tips for purchasing a home, and one was like a market update. And I've also sent like a monthly newsletter. So those are things that got me kind of out of my comfort zone, being new in the industry. I feel like I've gone through the schooling, I'm going through the trainings, and we really do, everyone on here, we have something to offer. So I think, like you were talking about earlier, switching our mindset. I'm used to talking to small children each day. I speak with a lot of adults as well, but I feel like getting out of my comfort zone, it's really pushed me to do those things.
I love that. And your newsletter can create that connection. It's so easy to get into Command and take a look at, what they're, the newsletters that are in there, celebrate what's going on in the market. Maybe you participated in something that you want to share. I say celebrate, local businesses, family-owned businesses to help them grow. Different things you can create it, and then they start to look forward that.
I didn't even think of, I just moved to this area, but I do have a couple of business owners that I met. I didn't think of that. So thanks for that tip as well.
Yes, we call them B2B, business to business referrals, because I'll let them know there's, we just have, League City where I live, outside of Houston. It takes me about 40 minutes to get home. It's a smaller community and tons of, family owned businesses. So, I let them know I'm going to celebrate you this month. If they come in and they mention my newsletter, will you give them some sort of discount? And they're like, absolutely. So I always make sure that they get a copy of the newsletter so they, that showing them that I absolutely did do it. But it starts to build those relationships. What places do you go to, all the time? Your dry cleaners, or, where do you get your car cleaned? Things like that. Think about those people that you're giving them their business, your business. Think about possibly putting your business cards in there. Okay, or sharing their information. Maybe they offer specials. Put that in your newsletter. So I like to celebrate a small business, once a month.
Thank you.
Welcome. Teachers, you guys have in-service days. You have days, we like breakfast sandwiches, we like donuts, we like those different things. Can you put a breakfast basket together, and, do some labels with your information? Some teachers are able to, some people, some can't, but it's also, always worth an ask.
I had printed out some. I go through Zazzle for my cards, and I also made some labels, and I placed those on water bottles, and I hand those out as well.
That's my favorite thing. I keep them in the back of my car. My granddaughter, plays soccer. And so I'm, I always, I'm the first one to say, I'm gonna, I want my name on the shirts. Do we have a sponsor? Yes, we do. But I always take my water bottles there as well. I've been doing that for years. So I love the water bottles.
Yeah.
We just have to think, that's what I said. When you start to, look at different, agent websites or, take something from here, what works for you? What are you willing to, what do you want to say, that's something I can definitely do, and go for it. All right. So talking a little bit, so celebrate your successes, make sure that you are using your daily success systems, how many conversations are you having, contacts added to your database, handwritten notes, because we love the handwritten notes, social media engagement. Hey, how are we enriching our business? Are we setting any appointments, signing any agreements? Make sure that we're keeping track of this so that you can tell a story at the end of year about your business. Okay, you have Command and KW Connect to help you. In regards to scripts and dialogue, are you practicing the dialogue? So when you have questions, you immediately know what to respond with. Do you guys have accountability or role play partners currently? You guys raised your hand and say, I'd love to be your role play partner, because we want you to practice beforehand so that you're not practicing on your first clients. And know that you do have, when you go in, so I'm just going to click out of here and show you a few more things because this session went really quick for some reason. So I'll just show you more things. When you're inside your main KW page, you can go, if you click on education, takes you right to KW Connect. This page is always about education, okay, and classes that they have. But I can go in. You get a script book with there's your Ignite, there's your, your scripts and dialogue in there that they provide. But I can also go in for script book. I think it's script book number 1, building relationship scripts. Build $1 million database scripts. Okay, open house scripts. Okay, it goes on and on and on in here. All right, so just know, use this as a resource. If you're thinking about doing the home buyers seminar, know that they have this in here for you already. Okay, you can come in here. There's, of course, we have the book that you can buy as well, but you can download and start to build on hosting your own. If you're thinking of, if you're hosting open houses and you need a little bit more help with what do I do during the week? Everything is in here for before the open house, during the open house, after the open house. Agents have shared open house feedback forms that you can download. So are you guys going in here and looking at these things? Amazing resource. I'm looking for a particular book because there's a script. Let me see if I can play around with this a little bit more, because there's 3 volumes. That's what I'm going to look for. Volume 1. Because there are 3 books in here that you should be able to download. I know they clean this up once in a while, but there are 3 script books in here that you can actually download. They sort of work together. So sometimes you just got to, dig a little bit deeper. But again, the resources in here are unbelievable. But if you're not coming in here and click all over the place, then definitely come in here and start looking for those. There's the DTD2 schedule that I talked about earlier. Let me click on this, open it up so you guys can look at that. This is the one that I was talking about earlier. So this is the way that you can go in, and it tells you exactly, if you've not set up the tags in your database, that you can set them up in your command system. Every time you put a contact in, you can just click on that tag so you can come in. So it runs, of course, for 4 quarters. So right now we are on February 6th, so we're on F and G. So anybody with the names that start with F and G, and then it also has a text or a social media aspect to it where you can text the letter Y or send, if you have anybody that is in, your database that starts with Y and you want to send them a social media post or some sort of information or tag them in something. So they just had added this in the social media part of it this year. Okay, but a great way to start communicating, and then you don't miss anybody. DTD2 schedule for 2023. So again, coming in here and finding the resources for what you're looking for is a great place to start. Open house sign-in sheet. There's the post open house, but I'm looking for KWU has created a whole plan of action for your open houses. Why it's not coming in here, coming up right away. But the things that agents share that you can look and utilize is amazing. Okay, how to build an effective open house follow-up system. Okay, a great, and I've utilized this in one of my classes. Okay, walks you through, the lead capture forms, the Google forms, the QR codes. She provides you, the different tools that she uses for everything. Guys, she literally has given you everything that she does for her open house. So you have abundant resources for your business. What other questions can I ask or can I answer for you? I want to make sure that you got everything that you needed tonight.
Hey, Kim.
Go ahead.
This is Trisha. Thank you so much for all this information.
You're welcome.
I just had a question. So I just started the real estate, and so I haven't got any of my logins for anything, but I went ahead and did all of the questionnaire thing from Scott Leroy Marketing. Is that who you guys use as well?
It's similar to that.
Okay.
Ours is called Uptuck Pro. So they, put everything behind the scenes and then send us our login. They put their headshots in, they set up the Dotloop account, they set up, the connection between our MLS system. And so as soon as they get that, usually takes about, 24 to 48 hours to get that set up. And
Okay.
it's not them, it's usually KWRI, creating that. And then once you're in, you can go to town.
Is it typical that the real estate agent enters all of that information? Because they had me do everything.
Oh, interesting. So our onboarding, of course, is going to be different from market center to market center. We just have
Right.
certain documents that they fill out and we send it to the Uptech Pro company.
Okay. Well, it should be coming because I did
Yeah,
it
it
last
should be coming.
night.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. Sometimes it's just, KW just getting your, really your email and password set up. That's probably the biggest delay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much for
You're
all the
so
information
welcome.
in the class and everything. Could you show me one more time how to get to all of the scripts and everything and connect?
Yep. So I utilize just your My KW page.
Uh-huh.
So you can go directly to connect. I'm just, for
Right.
years, I just go right here. So under the education tab,
Okay, gotcha.
that'll take you directly to KW Connect. And then you can search, of course, your scripts are here from Ignite.
Mhm.
But you can go in and look for just, anything else inside here, just with that search button.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
You're welcome. And the other thing I was, for those that are new to Command, know that you can come in here and you've got training and resources right here for you. Okay, you can click on Command Your Business. And you can do tech-enabled agent. Okay, I'm ready to learn Command. Let's get started. And it'll walk you through getting started with Command. Okay, your different Command applications. I can click on I want to command my database, your opportunities and transactions. Maybe you're ready to work on some designs, newsletter, things like that. I want to command my consumer experience. There's your consumer app with My KW. I want to set up my goals, or start to, where do I even find reports about my business? Okay, where's the referral platform? I've got, guys, don't just think about the agents that are right here in your sphere. You've got friends and family that live across the country. Know that you have an amazing referral platform to, find the best agents for anybody that has a need, outside of your, we call it our competency area, the TREC rules that we have to follow. But you've got all of this in here. And then as you work through, there are quick video trainings about campaigns, okay, your contacts, walking through your agent site. So you can start on these at any time. All right, so learn on your own. I need to train on how to run my business using the KW technology. What is that all about? My KW app. These things are right here for you. If you've not been on this page, click, I can't tell you how much to click all over the place. The different resources you have, make sure that you know about Keller Mortgage, if it's, you know, what they offer. Okay, so that you can explain that. You have your own portal with them. When you log in, it's just about you. Okay, everybody has their own Keller Mortgage portal. I can also get into it from my app. So I can refer a client from here. Once I refer a client, I've got a couple of different agents that I use, lenders that I use through the source, and I just alternate them. But I'm now forever attached to that transaction. It keeps a track of my deals. Okay, I can run some reports in here. I've got some marketing materials that I can print out. So when I do open houses, okay, I make sure to come in here and print some of these flyers. There's social media posts in here for you to utilize. So if you've not even touched on the Keller Mortgage part of it, this is all right here for you. Okay, I can look at my different settings. There's all of my information. I can copy that link. There's my QR code for Keller Mortgage. I can place that on my marketing materials. Okay, I can copy this and send it to anybody that's, you know, thinking about it. You know, there's no lender fees. You know, there's some amazing opportunities to use Keller Mortgage. Okay, so if you haven't had the opportunity to get to know them, take the time to do so. Okay, but you really don't know if you're not clicking. Click all day long.
I have a question.
Sure.
I know we in other training or other Ignite dates, they were talking about the ideas about getting information or getting referrals, or I mean clients, and one of them was expired listings, and one is farming. Now, the expired listing, do you get those from RealTracks, or is it somewhere in our KWs?
So there's some
is there something about farming, like in Command, that teach us, or somewhere in KW Connect that teach us about farming and stuff like that?
So there's definitely some, you know, probably some insight to farming, and working with those. My MLS system, so you get, you know, your daily. So if I go into HAR, most of the time you're going to, it'll be a paid service to get more information. That's what I have to utilize. But every single day when I go into my matrix system, it lets me know in certain areas, you know, my expireds, my terminateds. This is just a small particular area close to, you know, to my home that I watch. I can look at, you know, all of HAR, all of the Houston area if I wanted to, but that's going to be thousands. So I keep it pretty small. But I do use a paid service to get FSBOs, expireds, and what we call terminated, so that it will give me their information for the homeowner. Now, if I get an expired, you know, if you have the ability, again, you can use White Pages, you can do Spokio. Because if I click on this particular expired home, I can click on the tax record, but I may not, all I'm going to get is the homeowner's name. I'm not going to get their, you know, phone numbers, because that's going to be a paid service. Okay, but can I do a, you know, can I send them something in the mail? Absolutely. Okay, so maybe I don't have, you know, the budget right now to pay for a service to get more information. Well, create a letter campaign. There's tons of those that you can write the letter, you know, hey, you know, I just let you know, I saw that your, you know, home came up on the expired listing from the multiple listing service. You know, are you still interested in your selling your home? I'm here to help with that. And then a little bit, you know, about you, maybe what your services are. You can reach out. There's different ways. I can drop something off at their home. Maybe I can search social media for them. You have to be resourceful. Okay. For farming, I use another source called Cole's Resource that I can go in and I can search a particular neighborhood and again download the information from that neighborhood. I don't know what in the area that you're in, your title companies. There's some title companies that use different services that can help you with a farming list. We talk about farming, we want it either to be our own neighborhood or somewhere close that we're going to know, the amenities surrounding that area, that we're going to do, some market research in regards to that neighborhood, that we want to make sure it's an area, that has a little bit of turnover, so that there's some movement in that neighborhood. Pay attention to what's going on so that you can share some information and get them excited about moving to that area. So farming, again, it's going to be time, intensive. It's going to take time for them to get to know you. And so you want to definitely commit to, 12 months to 18 months if you're going to do some farming. If you can get lists, you can definitely upload to your command system. And, put the neighborhood information in there. And then once you gather more information, if you get their email, you can put them on that monthly neighborhood nurture. Okay? You just have to, you gotta do your research. Sometimes, you can definitely set that up. I know that we have particular, rules. We have to bulk them in a certain number, but we do get like a reduced postage with the post office if I'm going to be sending out bulk mailers and things like that to different areas. So yeah, look into that. Any reduction in costs, because I'm all about watching your budget dollars. I want to make sure, that you play in red light, green light. Maybe you have a closing and you want to invest a little bit of money, into some marketing. Okay. Make sure that you're paying attention to your return on those investments. Okay. Did you get some, responses to them? Okay, you've got some things you're going to have to give a little bit more time than others, but as when you're new agents, you're getting calls to, oh, try this. Oh, buy into this. Have you, heard about this? Guys, I did it. Don't do it. When I moved over from Remax to KW, my team later sat down and we went through, all my budget line items, and he's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I like to try it all. Well, he's like, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this. And it was the best advice, I'd ever received, because I just, I was like, wasn't keeping track of that stuff. Luckily, almost 10 years later, I'm a little bit smarter now. So I pass that wisdom on to you all. I truly appreciate everybody staying on, getting some additional information. Reach out to me if you do have any questions. I'm happy to help whenever I can. Okay?
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Welcome. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kimberly, I have a question. So all of them are reported. How soon do they come out? Like, how soon can I replay this one?
He's pretty quick. Let me look real quick.
We normally get an email, I think,
I think he sends an email too. It looks like it's like that next day, if not sooner than that.
Okay. I just was gonna
He moves.
listen because I missed a little bit of it today. I was gonna listen to it this evening, but I can listen to it while I'm working tomorrow.
Yeah, this one moves pretty quickly. This is not a session that I've instructed on before, so it moved pretty quickly. I hope I didn't miss anything.
No, it was good information. Good information.
But I'd like to, I want to make sure that you guys know where the different resources are. That's really what's important to me, because sometimes you just, you get in the weeds on things and you're trying to, build this and practice this. And I want,
There's just so much. So I kind of like to
good.
do it again. Make sure there's so much information.
Good. Well, if there's anything that I missed or you have any questions, don't hesitate. Reach out.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.